Hello everybody, welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator once again. Today we're flying the PMDG DC-6 here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. We're going to North Carolina up to Fayetteville. Both of these sceneries were provided by Verticalsim, so a big thanks to Verticalsim for the sceneries. We'll be checking those out today. Also to Thrustmaster for the TCA Boeing yoke you will see here today. A big thanks to them for sponsoring the hand cam. If you want to get this paint, I will have everything linked in the description below. This is Trans Air Link. This is a company that was based out of Miami, Florida, and they flew all the way into the 2000s. Before we get the cargo loaded on here, we're only gonna take a couple thousand pounds of cargo up to Fayetteville today. You can see there's the cargo hold and it's empty right now. I'll show you when we add our cargo, it will actually populate inside of the airplane. And welcome aboard November 841 Tango Alpha. This is the flight deck here of the PMDG DC-6 and it is absolutely incredible. I love it. Really windy out there today, by the way. Yeah, look at the detail in all of the flight deck. Really, really, really nice. And then down here we have our tablets, which you can put out of the way when you don't need it, which is really cool. You can have it up here as well. We can also open up our window here, slide that on back with this guy. There we go for engine start. And then over here, check it out. We have all of our ramp manager here to operate all of the doors and everything. Then we have the fuel and load manager. Absolutely awesome that we can use this to load the airplane and the fuel. And then the AFE, this is the Artificial Flight Engineer. This is incredible. I absolutely love having this. It's having a first officer basically, and he will take care of everything. We can just fly the airplane as the captain. Really neat. Maintenance hangar. You can see here engine health is a little high or a little low there. I have been flying this quite a bit. It probably needs some work there, but I think the engine health will be okay. It may have some issues starting up today. There's my prop hours I have on it as well. You can see all the time I have in the airplane and the airframe itself. So about 6 hours in this airplane I have. Here, engine oil, I'm gonna top up our engine oil. That's why we have those stands out there. There we go. That's good to go. And we're gonna go ahead and top up water, alcohol, auxiliary oil, and anti-ice as well. Now we can move on to the engine stress visualizer. And you can see here, it tells you all the engine parameters in real time. Carburetor temps are obviously good because it's warm outside right now, but everything else would show you if there was damage or anything like that while you're flying. Very neat. And then you have all your options right here for realism. We have realistic engine damage, all this stuff on here. So we are operating the airplane with the Asobo GNS 430. You can just have the Bendix radios. I'll show you. Click those in. There they are right there. And then you can go back to the GNS 430 and you got it right there. So pretty darn cool. Go to the fuel and load manager. We're just gonna take 50% of fuel. It's not a very long flight today. Pretty short hop over. And like I said, a couple thousand pounds of cargo is all we really need. So about 2,000 pounds on there. And nothing in the lower cargo holds. We're just gonna use the main cargo hold for that. So there's all of our payload and it's ready to go. All right, and as you can see, we do have cargo populated inside of the airplane. I'll show you here in the front and we'll get the cargo doors all closed up. And looking right there, you can see that we have cargo all strapped in and ready to go. We'll put the stands away and we'll get the doors closed and get this baby fired up. Let's go ahead and close the cargo entrance and the cargo doors. And you can see the cargo door coming down in real time. And all of that cargo is strapped down, ready to go. We're gonna get rid of all the stands and we're gonna be ready to fire up. All right, closing the door. We just have the little GPU outside, so we're gonna be ready for our before start checklist. All right, so we're completely cold and dark right now. We can come over here to our AFE and check it out. We can go, hey, let's do a before start checklist.
Cockpit Preflight.
And he's gonna start flipping all the switches, turn the batteries on, all the lights, beacon is on there. We'll have steady lights on. He doesn't turn those on, but we can do that by ourselves. He'll get the boost pumps where they need to for engine 3, since we're gonna go 3, 4, 2, 1 on the start.
Tested.
And we'll just run through the
Oil
checks.
and flaps. Auto in position. Fuel and fluids. Checked. Pressurization. Set. Manifold and duct pressure. Checked. Radios.
He's getting the radio set right there. Awesome. And we're gonna go ahead and just go direct to Fayetteville. So let's go ahead and get that ready to go here. Okay, so we ran into a sim bug with the new update. This Garmin is not working anymore. I can't even select a direct path, anything like that. So I guess we're gonna go good old fashioned VOR flying here today. So 114.85 is gonna be the Fayetteville VOR. So we'll just go ahead and punch that in there, and we're going to fly direct to it out of Myrtle Beach here. So not a big deal. We'll just roll with the old school way instead of the GPS. All right, ready to start the engine. So engine 3 mixture is going to come all the way up to the top on the overhead panel. We're going to make sure that we're on plane battery, not on ground power anymore. Engine selector is 3, and we're going to hit the start button. We're going to wait for him to count out 12 turns on that prop, and then we're going to engage the prime boost and then the mag. So let's go ahead and hit start.
3, 6, 9,
And he's going to have 12 here.
12.
There's 12, so let's go boom, boom, and then fire it up. All right, that's a good engine start there. So we're going to go 3, 4, 2, 1. So over to 4 next, and make sure the boost pump's on, and come back downstairs. We're going to make sure that our mixture for engine 4 is all the way up as well. Back to the overhead panel. Engine 4 is good. Boost pump's good. We hit the start button, and he's going to count out those 12, and then we cycle and repeat. There's 3.
12.
There's 12 there. So let's go ahead and go boom, boom, and then all the way over to both. Okay, and those are good to go there. So we go boost pump number 2 comes to low, and then we're going to go engine selector 2. And then down here, again, we're going to bring up the mixture for that guy. You can see everything moving around. Very, very cool. That's all good to go there. And then back to the top we go, and we can go ahead and start engine number 2. There's 12. Boom, all the way over to both on the mags. Come on, one more. There we go. Okay, that's 3 good engines. All we have left is engine 1 to fire up. So let's go ahead and do exactly that. Bring up the mixture again. And like I said before, we do the same thing. Low on the booster pump and engine selector over to 1. Hit start. 12, boom, boom, all the way over to both. Go ahead and tell the person down there that we can remove the ground power unit. We don't need it anymore. There we go. They're going to remove that. Fantastic. Sweet. And we're going to go ahead and do our after start checklist and close the doors up as well. He's getting the boost pumps for us.
Battery switch. Plane venting. Generators and inverters. Check and on. Emergency lights. Armed. Ground power. Removed.
Yep, that was removed. We know that.
After start checks complete.
All right, after start checklist is complete. Next will be before takeoff, so that's pretty much that. We're gonna do a flight control test. I got back, I got forward, I got left rudder, right rudder, and yeah, flight controls are free and correct. We're good there. Well, we have engine power in our control where we need it. He does set them automatically, but when we're gonna taxi, we're gonna be doing it manually, so that's good. And he'll get the flaps and all that on the way out. Love having my iPad down here. That I got from the Sporty's Pilot Shop. I'll have a link to it in the description below if you want to check it out. But it's fantastic to have that right there on the left-hand side so I can go in and out of the different charts that I need. And that's how I got the VOR there. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up our Myrtle Beach ground stuff here. So we're down here on the general aviation ramp, and we're going to go up and taxi to runway 18 as the winds are favoring that right now. So we'll take Bravo up to Bravo 3 cross, and then on Alpha, because we can't take Bravo. Actually, you know what? Let's take Bravo all the way down. We just can't take Bravo 4 because we're way heavier than 12,500 pounds. on the taxi out here on Bravo, we're gonna take this all the way down to the end. I don't have AIG running today, trying to get as many frames as I can out of the sim, and this is the newest sim update that just came out, so we're on sim update 9, and I wasn't sure what to expect out of that, so that's why we're taking it easy today on the AIG stuff. But airplane is an absolute blast to fly, and it handles like a dream on the ground as well. So winds right now are 190 at 17, gusting to 21. So it's pretty gusty, but they're right out of the south there. We'll be fine on that. 10 statute miles of visibility, clear skies. Altimeter is 3001, which we already have selected. That's good to go there. So we are good to taxi down to the runway, and we'll be departing on 18. Another neat feature using Navigraph here and my iPad is that I can actually see where I'm at. I'm a little pink triangle here on Bravo, taxiing down to the runway. So having all this right there is really nice, especially now that I can just use that instead of the in-game tablets, if an airplane even has it. But I am very, very happy with this purchase. So we just passed Bravo 4. Let's go ahead and do it before takeoff.
Boost pumps.
Checklist. Boost pumps.
Boost pumps on low.
Yes, they are.
Fuel selector and crossfeed. Main tanks and crossfeed off. Autopilot and carb heat. Off and cold. Hydraulic system. Down, forward, pressure and quantity checked. Okay. Flaps 20.
There comes the flaps. And they're coming down. You can see the flap position right here.
Flaps set 20.
There we are, 20
Windows
on
and
that.
turbine.
Bit more power here, not
Closed
much
and on.
needed.
Controls.
My controls are free and correct. We
Gas
tested
block
them.
released. Free. Potato. On. Mixture and cowl flaps. Reach unlocked. Set. Transponder.
So that's a mixture lock there. Transponders on.
Landing lights.
Oh, they're right there. Duh. I was looking too far up. All right, we're down here at the end of the runway.
Extended and on.
All right, extended and
Full
on.
takeoff checks complete.
Beautiful. You love to see it, folks. All right, we can release that. It's not bad. That the wind's like right at our tail right now. I'm gonna pull our power back here a little bit. And I love the sound of the brakes. When you get on them, you'll hear it ever so slightly in the background. That little squeal. And we are going to be takeoff dry today since there's no rain. And we'll line up on the runway and we'll hit that. And then once we hit that, it's kind of like hitting a toga button. Our first officer, our flight engineer, he will set 30 inches of manifold pressure on the engines and let them stabilize. And he'll let us know when max power is set, and then we'll release the brakes. That is how we do it. Okay, there's the wind now, going to be off to our right. So we're going to be turning into the wind on this crosswind correction here. It is gusty. It's kind of been how it has been lately in this part of the world. It's been windy. All right. Runway 18 right in front of us here. Flight line's clear because we don't have to worry about that, like I said. Love flying these old airplanes, man. They have so much character and they're unique. And this particular airframe, you take care of it because you fly it all the time. I haven't had to replace an engine yet, so that's good. We're just getting all the use out of it that we can. We'll line up on runway 18 here. Okay. Lined up good right here, so we just hit the brakes just like that. We've got our crosswind correction in there, and we hit takeoff dry.
30 inches stabilized.
30 inches stabilized. You're going to see the panel start vibrating and stuff as he adds the power. So I don't have to do any of that. He's going to take care of it like they would in real life. Look at that. You can see the panel moving around. Very cool. Now it's a little more stable. There's 30. Going to wait for him to stabilize here.
3 inches, stabilized. Cal flaps. Cal flaps. Cal flaps set. Full power, please. Going full power.
There we go. Full power. He's bringing him up. Let him stabilize. He'll say that it's set. We release the brakes.
Full power set.
There we go. Brakes released. Let's go flying, folks. Enjoy the departure. It's barely a crosswind from the right. It's just basically right down the runway. So I'm just doing it as a safety precaution here in case those gusts come from the right a little bit more than they have been. Airspeed's alive. And we're at our rotation speed already, so just ease it on back. Doesn't take much pressure to get it in the air, just like that. And then we'll be at positive rate. He's going to go ahead and take care of that. Gear's coming up. And we want to keep the nose down. A pretty shallow angle on departure here. We want to get to 160 knots. We'll start our climb. Over Myrtle Beach is bringing those flaps in. There we go. We're looking good there. And then he will set the climb power.
Meteor power. Setting meteor power, 48 inches.
There we go. It's 160. We'll start our turn here to the north. There's Myrtle Beach. Goodbye, Myrtle Beach. It's been fun. The ocean, you can see the white caps on the ocean today. Yeah, it is windy and gusty.
Meteor power set.
Okay, he's got that. Flying power is being set next. We've seen about 1,500 feet per minute at 160 knots there. Bring that back a little bit more there. Awesome.
Climb power set. After takeoff checklist, please.
Here we go. After takeoff checklist. He's taking care of it right now. And we're on our way out of here.
Takeoff checks complete.
There's the airport we just departed off of, right there on the left-hand side. Very neat. And we're going to continue our climb up to 10,000 feet. Start our turn back this way. We're on our climb out here still at about 1,200 feet per minute. We'll turn to the left here. Initially, we're just going to be about a 360 to 005 heading. Should get us to the airport no problem. Because for some reason it's not picking up the VOR yet. But I'll show you the Gyropilot here in a minute. Small turn to the left here. We'll be on top of the clouds. Turn on my track IR so we can see just how awesome. Love cloud surfing, especially in this DC-6. Just what an incredible airplane. I'm really excited for the 737 from PMDG, but the Mad Dog will be out before then. The MD-80 releases on the 30th. So I will definitely be buying that and learning the MD-80. We used to fly that a long time ago. It's been a while, but I don't think we're gonna have any issues. I'm just kind of doing some dead reckoning right now, although it's kind of harder with the clouds. As I still can't get this VOR to tune in for some weird reason. I'm probably doing something wrong. Or, you know, it could be a sim update bug. I really don't know. Of course, I was going to record this yesterday. Today is Tuesday, and happy Tuesday, by the way. But I didn't do it. I waited until today, and they had the sim update. I didn't think the sim update was coming out today, but it was. So, lesson learned. We're almost here to 10,000 feet at our cruise altitude. And I'll show you the Gyropilot here. It's pretty easy to use. It's just flipping this guy, and then you have a clutch down there we're going to use as well. So almost to 10,000 feet here. Bring the nose down gently. There we go. We're going to kind of maintain this 10,000. Just going to trim it to 10,000 here. And then we're going to set our cruise power here in just a few. So there, it's doing pretty good about right there. So we can come down here to this guy, and we can go Gyropilot on, altitude control is, nope. Turn the clutch on, altitude control on. There we go. And then that should hold the altitude we just set, or close enough to it. And then you can also use the Gyropilot localizer setting if you have the GPS working, which we don't. So you can have a localizer, and we'll actually do a full ILS with the approach if you want to as well. If you want to turn the airplane manually, you can just turn it left and turn it right. It's an old Gyropilot. Not really, it's not an autopilot. It's called a Gyropilot, but very cool, old school airplane. And now we can come over here and tell him, hey, set cruise power.
Set cruise power, please.
And he'll do exactly that.
Power.
It's coming back now. So 35 stabilized there. I'm happy with that. We got a good airspeed climb in there. I mean, it's a pretty fast airplane once you get up here to cruise. So we're going to expect a visual approach to Fayetteville, a visual approach runway 4. Winds are 340 at 6 knots, not bad at all. Some lightning in the distance and some storms starting to pop up around there, but sky conditions were showing clouds at 10,000 feet. So below there, we're going to be fine to do a visual approach, no problem. And the winds aren't going to be bad, so it should be pretty pleasant. All right, we're going to start our descent, so let's go ahead and just pop off that clutch for the Gyropilot, turn it off. And sometimes you get a little bell there sometimes. And we're just gonna start that slow descent down into the airport. And in fact, we can come over here and go to descent. So let's do it.
26 inches, please.
26 inches of manifold pressure. We're in a nice descent happen here, bringing the nose up a little bit here. We'll descend down to 5,000 initially.
26 inches set.
Wonderful.
Descent checklist, please.
We'll do the descent checklist.
Altimeters and flight instruments cross-checked.
They're good.
Seatbelt signs on. On. Engine blower is low. Low. Descent checks are complete.
Yeah, still no dice on the VOR, not picking it up. Not sure why, so that's okay. Once we get underneath the clouds, we'll be good. We're still using a VFR chart. That's helping us on our way in. Still in our descent. Once we pop underneath these clouds, we're going to pretty much do a dead reckoning up to, which is just looking at the ground and knowing the area. To the airport. So we'll see a river, and we're going to follow that river up north. That'll take us to the airport, and then we're going to just make a slight left turn and then a right turn. We're going to be there on the runway just like that. Watch out for these downdrafts. They'll get you sometimes. Maintain about 1,500 feet per minute on the descent. And we are in rain right now. Use our track IR, you can see. Well, kind of, sort of. Now we're good. And we're only at 6,400 and descending still, looking good. This is just a rain shower. It's not like a severe storm or anything like that. I didn't feel any energy off of this system that we were getting close when we were getting closer to it, you know. About to break out of these clouds here, and we'll have a visual of the river here shortly. We should have flown over it slightly. So that's all we're looking for now is the river. There's the highway. Okay, I know where I'm at now. And we're descending down to about 3,000 feet. That'll be perfect. Airport elevation is 189 feet, so we can go all the way down to like 1,100 for the approach, for the visual. But yeah, these rainstorms in the area popped up pretty quick. They weren't here when we left. I was checking the radar and stuff, and yeah, they've popped up ever since then, so. Interesting. We're just looking for the river. Once we get the river, we're gonna be in a good position here for the airport. All right, we are tracking over the river. That's just off to our right-hand side there. And we'll have the airport in sight soon. We should see the airport light. But like I said, the sky conditions there at the airport were showing clear. We'll see if that's the case once we get there. And we're just now to 3,000. We're just descending down to 2,000 now. I'm starting slowing the airplane down. I'm gonna have him turn off the descent. We'll do an in-range check. Bring the nose up here. Start bleeding our airspeed off.
On low. Fuel tank selectors. Mains on.
Those are good. Yep.
Hydraulic bypass valve.
What's that wind, man?
Down. No smoking signs.
That's the river there on the right-hand side. It goes off and then it goes to the right and then comes back around. We're pretty much facing right at the airport right now. Our in-range checks are complete. Awesome. We're slowing down now. Descend about 2,500 here. I'm just watching the clouds here. I'm gonna go a little bit more to the left here. Because remember, we're shooting that approach for runway 4 to the right. I'm gonna make sure I get my recording software going and all that. All right, making our left-hand turn back towards the airport now. We got it in sight right there. So we're pretty much gonna be on a left downwind for our runway here. I was initially gonna go up and around that way, but we're visual and we could not do that with the clouds there. The storms were in our way. So we're doing this the way you would want to in real life if you're VFR. I mean, we'd be IFR if we were going through the clouds and all that, especially at cruise and all that, but it's not a huge deal. We're just gonna make a left downwind and we'll be fine. There's the runway right there. Let's go ahead and do it before landing checklist. So he'll be flaps 20 once we slow this airplane down. There it goes, helping it slow down big time. Bring that nose forward a little bit more. We're gonna continue our descent down to 2,000 feet. But welcome to Fayetteville, everybody. We're flying over it right now. All right, a little more turn here. We'll get on our left downwind. We have our recording software going for the replay. That's Sky Dolly I use. That nose up here. And put some flaps in here in a second. We're already 20 set. Pull my power back a little bit more. We'll be setting up for a left base here. There's the next setting to flap. A little bit of power here. She just pretty much rotates right around her axis here when you're on downwind. It's an incredibly easy airplane to fly. It comes down to it. Still descending down to about 1,000 feet here. More flap, pull our power back. It's not acting like the gear's down, is it? Got a red light on it. I don't like that. That's not a good thing. Yeah, I'm happy with 40 flap. Yeah, oh, there's a gear coming down. We're getting light there. Oh, there we go. Now they're locked. Okay.
Gear down and locked. 3 greens.
Good to know.
2400 RPM. 2400 RPM set. Cow flaps. Plus 3 degrees.
Got a runway in sight.
ADI off. ADI is off.
Shoot for about 110 knots on this approach here.
Speed good. Extending lights. Lights extended and on. Carbine. Carbine cold. Set cold.
There we go. Coming down on the glide slope now.
Complete.
Awesome. Let's trim this thing back a little bit here. About 110 knots on final. And there is our glide slope looking good. 2 red, 2 white. Been flying this airplane down in the Bahamas a lot. That's been a lot of fun too. You don't flare this airplane a whole lot. She just kind of settles down onto the runway. Okay, buddy, we're good. Yeah, I forgot. I got to manually move my gear switch down on the yoke for him to complete that. Otherwise, it's fighting with it, you know, as a key binding, which makes sense. All right, we got our touchdown zone right there, the white squares. And believe it or not, this airplane has reverse thrust. An old prop plane like that, little left rudder here. Bring the nose up. Not a whole lot needed. Come on, don't float her too much. There we go. Reverse thrust comes down. All right. One more left. Aileron, the reason why I'm using both hands here is because I'm using the reverse thrust button. We're gonna use most of this runway. That's all right with me. All right, release the reverse thrust. We're at idle. Hey, we made it down. That's all that matters. We'll taxi down here to the end, and then we'll do an after landing checklist. So we're just going down here to the left anyway, so. Our ramp's right there behind us. We just make a left turn here. We'll clean up the airplane. He'll do everything, which is really, really cool. So, highly recommend this airplane. It's PMDG, so you know the quality's going to be high. It was a project, you know, or was an airplane that was been on my back burner for a long time. I've owned it for a while, and then I started flying it on stream a while, and like I said, I have about 6 hours in it now, so I feel more comfortable making a video on it here today. We had a nice approach coming in here, didn't we? That was fun. Some rain showers. It's always good to see some weather, you know. All right, dude, let's do our after landing checklist. So I could have done that before landing checklist a little bit further on down the line on our downwind, but it's all right. No big deal. Make sure our flaps are up too on our end.
After landing checks complete.
Awesome. Next will be parking, and that will be that. Nice. Let's open up our windows. Slide them on back. There you go. Love the sound of these engines, man. I really hope they will add the smoke on the startup. That's something they said they were going to do down the line, and they still haven't added it yet, so hopefully they'll do that sooner than later. That would be nice, right? So this is the Verticalsim Fayetteville Scenery. Everything will be linked in the description below if you want to check it out, as long as everything that I used, the TCA Boeing yoke, The throttle quadrant, I'm using 2 of those. And then the TPRs down there. And I'm using an iPad 11 Pro. It's the 11-inch version. And I'll have that Sporty's desktop mount linked as well for you there. All right, let's get these landing lights off. And the retracts. And the retracts, if we can. Can you hit the retracts, buddy? Nope, don't want to do it. Oh, they're already up. Okay, cool. And we're just gonna park right here on this ramp. Parking brake comes on, and we can do our parking checklist. He'll kill the engines for us. Panel lights off. He's turning everything off. He's going to get all the battery and all that stuff taken care of for us as well. And that is a flight in the DC-6. There you go. Sweet. Parking checks are done. We're done. There you have it, folks. That is going to do it for this episode of Microsoft Flight Simulator. What a cool flight from Myrtle Beach up here to Fayetteville today in the PMDG DC-6. We're opening up the cargo doors out here. We're gonna get everything unloaded, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.